things out. But I'll tell you what, it's pretty bizarre.
I think so. I was just reading an article yesterday, matter of fact, last night after the show. The writer of the article said that he believes that, well, there's a species of aliens walking among us, and we don't even know it because they're not so much shape-shifting, they can sit there and control our mind. So when they're like hypnotize the people, thinking that, oh, that's just another person, when they're not. They don't look like us. But when you're near one, you don't see what they really look like. And I kind of remember that even from an old Twilight Zone one, that these creatures could just look at you and you look at them and you think he's a normal human being. But in fact, it's a horrible creature.
Kind of like mass hypnotism of the population. Do you remember that movie, They Live? It came out back in the late 80s. And it was a John Carpenter film. And it had to do with a guy that got a hold of these special sunglasses, and every time he put them on, the aliens would reveal themselves. They were masking themselves as humans and mixing in with the population. But every time he put these glasses on, they could be seen for what they really were. And every time they looked up at a billboard that had a commercial message on it, it would have stark messages that would say something like procreate, or just command messages to subliminally control the humans. It was a really great film when it came out. Kind of makes you think that maybe somebody knew something when they made that film.
Well, maybe they did, but if they did, I don't think they would have survived to the end of the film. I don't know. But I do know something is going on. I do know that we're not going to be told till it's too late. You know, I feel like, yeah, we're being visited by UFOs. I just think there's such deeper matter what is actually going on.
Oh, it's not surface. I mean, people tend to gloss over the fact that there's probably no big agenda or anything, but it's complicated. I think there are very complicated agendas, and it just doesn't involve one group of aliens. It involves a whole group of different kinds of aliens that might have contractual agreements with each other, might have certain agreements with the powers that be, the humans, of course, on this planet, and then using us as pawns in their chess game to do what they wish to do with us, and as if we're cattle. And that's the problem I have with all this. I know something nefarious is going on under the scenes. I've done enough research, and I'm sure a lot of people have done the same thing, and kind of coming to a conclusion that something's awry in our world, and we got to figure it out.
Well, I just know that if we're not, how can I say it? If they are among us, and if they made some type of even contract with our own government, I wouldn't trust that contract as far as I could throw a $3.50 bill, because if they have the capabilities of everything that has been reported that they have to be able to do, they don't need us other than what they need us for, if you understand. So, yeah, the dumb politicians would probably agree to it, thinking, hey, we're getting technology, we're getting all this stuff. But at the end, I hate to say it, they're not going to get anything as long as we're not going to get anything.
I think you're dealing with a situation of compartmentalization of groups of people, that the lower part of the chain of the hierarchy doesn't really know what's going on in the upper part. And they only let them know only so much information. But it's the ones at the top that are pulling the strings. And if it is the human rulers, I'm sure that the ones at the top are directly dealing with alien entities that are trying to control events on this planet. So as you go down the hierarchy, these people don't know what's really going on. I mean, people want to blame the senator. They want to blame our government. They want to blame the senators and the representatives in the House and even possibly our president of a lot of things that have to do with stuff like this. But they're just as ignorant, I think. As a matter of fact, one of our presidents, and you may know which one it is, tried to inquire into what was going on at Area 51 or one of the secret bases, and was told he didn't have a high enough clearance to know any of the stuff that was going on in the Black Projects area. Can you imagine that, where the President of the United States does not have enough clearance to know what's going on inside our country underground?
Well, that makes logical sense, because I really don't think they do. I think we just the politicians sold our souls away. That's what I think. I think these abductions are a lot more, because the amount of people are coming out is a lot. And it seems to be more and more and more people coming out of the closet saying, hey, I've been abducted. I seen the UFOs. I seen this. I seen that. You have the Navy saying, well, there's UFOs of some sort. You got now the Army connecting with a private organization to share technology if it's found. Something is going on. And it really is. And it's kind of scary. And, talking to all these guests about UFOs and abductions, if you listen to every one of them, and James, you know how I feel, they all are suffering emotional stress, big time.
Absolutely. And let me give you a little metaphor. Let's look at it like this. Ants say we're like ants to these beings, and it's a big illusion. So in other words, if we make a deal with them, we'll trade some of ours. You can do whatever you want with and give us some technology. The same scenario would be if ants could talk, and we were talking to ants, and they said, hey, give us some of your technology. Okay, we'll give you the blueprints of how to make a car or a CD player. And it's an illusion. It's like we're getting something, but we're not. They're just appeasing us because they can do with us what they want when they want to do it. And they're going to.
Well, remember what we did to the American natives? We said here, oh, hey, we'll give you some land after we stole everything from them, right? We'll give you some land. We'll give you equal rights. Well, didn't happen. We lied to them repeatedly. I mean, just think about how many Indians we've killed because of our lies. And
yes,
so I feel the same way. We've been lied to. People are missing. There's no account for where these people are. The government's not going to come out and tell us because you know what? Maybe who knows who's in the government? How do we know who is human and who isn't anymore? You don't know.
That is a real good point. One of the theories of my research for years with these reptilians is, think about this theory that I've come across years ago. When the dinosaurs died off, maybe they didn't all die off. Maybe they evolved into these reptoid beings, and most of them live underground, and they've evolved and they're intelligent, and they do what they do, and maybe they are more advanced than us. Think about it. Dinosaurs have been around before mankind millions of years. So think about that for a minute. That's just one of the theories. But, yeah, it's an illusion. They only think we're making deals with them. They're going to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it.
Well, they probably think if we're dumb enough to make a deal with them for a little bit of technology they give us, let's face it, whatever technology they give us is nothing compared to what they have. Just think about that. So if their motives are to take over our planet, to maybe colonize it over 100 or 200 years or 1,000 years, because we don't know what their time frame is. We only know what our time frame is, and it's very short and precious. But think about this. We got Antarctica melting. The Earth is off its axis a little bit. It's gone tilted a little bit. That is also changing the climate change. The magnetic field is all going on. Maybe this is all being done to eventually eliminate us, for they can come over and take over our planet. Maybe they have to live in water or underwater or whatever, because again, a lot of these sightings are UFOs coming out of the ocean or being in the ocean. It's something is up. We can only speculate. We don't know. That's the bad part. And the time we do find out, it'll be too late.
Well, I think that the human race in general needs to not be so trusting about what they're told. I personally think part of the problem is we don't think enough. We don't think deeply enough about situations. We don't question everything we're told since we're born. We need to, because we don't know if we've been conned our entire lives, and of course we have been conned our entire lives, told that we had to do this, told we have to do that. You think about it, it's just a form of mind conditioning. We have to learn to think for ourselves, and if we do that, we won't be corralled. Now, we got a huge population on this planet, but a very small number of these controllers, whether they be human or alien, are taking advantage of the fact that we aren't thinking. We're allowing ourselves to be distracted too much. And that is a big problem. We got to start thinking about more serious, important things in this life.
Well, I'm scared. I'm scared for my grandkids. I repeatedly say this. I won't be around, but they're going to have to live in the 2040, 2050, 2060. They're going to have to live what we gave them. And I am ashamed to say what we're giving our grandkids. To think about, we have destroyed our planet. And it's just a matter of another 20, 30 years before the effect is going to be felt by everybody. And that is the scary point. I don't think we can turn any of this around. It's gone past the turning around point. I really feel that.
Yeah.
Our future generation's going to curse us.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like the Terminator, scenario. Just think about this. In 2040, 2050, when, all these homes are underwater, people's property is gone. The air is going to be more contaminated than it is now. Water is going to be precious, where people will fight over it. People will fight for food because, let's face it, there won't be enough food to even grow because there'll be lack of water and all this other stuff. I mean, it's a scenario. You know what? When it doesn't happen now, like my wife, when we first got married, I would tell her, we have to stay on this budget because this is all the money we have. Well, she couldn't stay on the budget. She would go over the budget. The end of the month, she would start panicking. Well, we got to pay this and pay this. Well, Linda, we can't pay it. We have no money. But we got to pay it. Linda, I don't have the money. We have to pay it. Well, you want me to pull it from God? Because I don't have it. It's the same thing. We have destroyed our planet, and now we're going to have to pay for what we've done.
Yep. Yeah. Pay the piper.
We won't pay. Our grandkids are going to pay, and their grandkids are going to pay. And if we have grandkids after that still walking on this earth, they're going to hate the hell out of what we've done to them.
I agree. Can't argue with that. And I think these aliens use our weaknesses against us. Just let us sit back and, like you say, maybe they need the planet messed up so they can live better. We don't know.
Well, maybe if our planet was all underwater, they would love it.
That's scary.
Well,
but could be.
Yeah. Well, if they're here to help mankind, why don't they refreeze Antarctica? I'm sure they would have the technology to stop it or something, and that's not happening.
No,
they're just waiting for us to kill the planet so they can move in and clean up the mess and start all over again.
Hey, yeah, maybe they don't even breathe oxygen. We don't even know that. Anyway, guys, till tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be, 3 hours of scary stories and all kinds of stuff because of Halloween.
Spooky.
That's right.
Call-ins.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll get some call-ins. And by the way, the call-in number for tomorrow night is 1-253-203-6681. That's 1-253-203-6681. Guys, till tomorrow, have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Night. Take care. Well, guys, I want to thank you for listening to another show of Night Dreams Talk Radio. And tomorrow, again, please call in with your scary stories. We like to, talk to 4 or 5 people during the couple hours with their scary stories. Again, the number for tomorrow's call in is 125.